guys. Once again, this is Nyambura, your girl. I'm back, and I'm very excited and very happy for us to have this very interesting conversation. Now, I'm your advocate for technology, and I know a lot of us don't quite understand technology in this respect. Now, we obviously are all lovers of technology, don't we? We love technology. We love the latest gadgets. Let me tell you guys. Today, most people will pay any price to acquire the latest iPhone gadget. I mean, it's a prestigious gadget to have. Even me, I'd love to have as many. Every time there's a new release of iPhone, I would love to have one. When I go into people's cars, if I'm privileged to enter your latest car, I mean, don't you want the latest model of a car? You go to whatever length to spruce up that car. You put Wi-Fi, you want the latest booming music. You have our artists today, they are on Boomplay, they are on every latest technological platform that can be able to help them put their talent out there. And we love these things, and we spend countless hours, countless days, lots of money watching these things, listening to these things. I mean, you want the latest model of a watch in the market. Now, look at my gadget. Very interesting, simple gadget. This is a Dafit watch. I can answer my phone calls from this watch. I can read my messages from this watch. When you text me, I'm able to see who is texting me, and I can decide. Let's say if I was in the middle of a meeting and you'd call me, I can see who is calling me. I can choose to answer the call or just switch it off from here. I mean, and we want to own all these things because, I mean, they give us prestige. They make us feel so proud. They make us feel so happy. We feel like we are fitting in with the who's who in the marketplace. I mean, today, guys paid lots of money to buy the latest models of TVs, smart TVs. You want to stream your movies, Netflix, from the latest releases. You want to watch them from your bedroom, from your living room. You want to be with the action when the action is happening. Now, I visited a friend of mine the other day, and guys, let me tell you, her gate to her home obeys her. At a click of a button, of course, the gate just opens. I mean, and that's not news. I mean, these things have been here for quite some time. And that is how we want to identify ourselves. We want to be known with that, like the person with the latest technological development. We want to be the ones owning the latest gadgets. We want to be the ones who are in the know as to what is the latest release of whatever is coming into the market. I love Bluetooth gadgets, all right? I normally tell people this is one of my best investments ever because I use this gadget. This may not even be the latest model. I mean, this is old fashioned. I'm sure you're wondering, which era are you living in? Yes. But I love it so much because I am able to read my audiobooks. I am able to listen to my music when I'm in traffic. I actually no longer even realize when I'm in traffic because by the time I get through that traffic, I'll probably have read a book from some of my favorite people. And guess what? The reason why I'm able to read an audiobook is because technology has basically made it possible. Now, I come from a country where we are such fast movers. We adapt to technology so fast that we have even come up with some global products that everybody in the world wants to know. How did you guys do that? I mean, one of our most innovative technological platforms is our money transfer system called M-Pesa. And of course, it's been such a model for many governments. They've been trying to see how can we borrow from what you guys have done, because what it did, it enabled us to penetrate the unbankable population, and today 85% of our country's population is actually banked, not in the traditional sense of owning a bank account, but we all own an account with our M-Pesa, which is trackable. It's basically nowadays just operates like every other bank account. And I'm talking about that because that is a technological innovation, and all of us are in that space. I mean, in my country today, nobody cares about notes. In fact, we keep wondering, the money printing firms that have been raking billions of dollars from printing money for our central bank, we keep nowadays wondering, really, what is their work? Because we have generally automatically phased out physical money. Very, very few people still trade with physical money. If you enter a public transport system today in my country, you don't need to carry cash. So long as you have M-Pesa, inside the bus or the matatu or the train, there is a till number or a pay bill number where you just pay your fees directly from a mobile phone, and the service provider receives the money. I'm talking about that because basically, that's the whole essence of technology. There is nothing complicated about technology. Technology is just a better way of doing things that enhances how we interact with each other, how we interact with the society around us. And when you talk about it, actually, I should have started by talking about mobile phones, because there is an era. Personally, I've lived through an era where there were no mobile phones, where if you needed to communicate with your parents or communicate with your friends, you either used to write letters, mail them through the post office, which was a global industry that no longer exists anyway, or you could go and, again, the post office used to provide us with what we call the telephone booths. But when the mobile phones came, that was completely phased out because all of us wanted to own mobile phones. In fact, I like to ask people, can you remember which was your first mobile phones? Can you even remember the name? There were so many companies that had flooded the market, and they were bringing us all this technology, and many of them, of course, over time, they were phased out as the technology for mobile phones and internet and computers and gadgets started improving, and they couldn't easily adjust. But I am always so proud of them and so grateful that they came, because they made us know and believe that it was possible to actually own a mobile phone. I mean, previously, I don't even know whether sometimes, for those of us who are still around in the 90s and early 2000s, just before the mobile phones came, it was impractical or impossible to even think that you could communicate with a mobile phone, because it was a phenomenon we had not seen. I remember, like, there's some people who used to have things that used to be called walkie-talkies. I mean, I don't know, I'm told walkie-talkies used to be given to like the senior doctors or the senior people in the military and the police forces, and the rich people, like if you are the son of a cabinet minister, maybe you could get a walkie-talkie so that your dad can talk to you. But for the rest of us, generally the masses, those were privileges we could not afford. But think about it, because of a technological innovation called the internet and computerization, today all of us own mobile phones. In fact, I'm looking for mine. I don't know where I've put it. We all own mobile phones, and we no longer need anyone to convince us. Even the mama in the village where I come from, the mama, what we call the mama boga, just to represent the general masses of the people who are in the villages, who drive our economy, the MSMEs. Everybody today owns a mobile phone, and they also operate their money on that mobile phone. So not only is it a gadget, a means of communication, but it has basically become our lives. Interestingly, I have a banking background, and I have watched our banking sector, which is very, very vibrant, by the way, one of the most vibrant sectors in my economy, and basically in many economies. I have watched it thrive, and I'm also watching it coming down. And the reason why it's coming down in terms of creating employment, I mean, instead of the industry creating employment, it's actually firing people right, left, and center. Why? Because as technology evolves and innovations evolve, you realize that a lot of manpower is no longer needed. A lot of the things that used to be done, for example, in the banking sector, today, they don't need human beings to do those things. They are able to just deploy it on some systems, and those systems are able to do what human beings could do. For example, the loaning processes. I mean, when I was in the banking sector, we used to say that the most secure people were what we referred to as relationship managers. And yes, it is true. They are still maybe some of the most secure people. And allow me to say secure in quotes, because there's still that need for human touch. In as much as we are going into technology, at some point there is always that need of wanting to have a human element. But guess what? A lot of those lending opportunities have actually gone into technology. Today, mobile loans are the order of the day. And I want to believe that in the next few years to come, there will practically be no, even those relationship managers will be maybe one or two in any institution, because who will need them anyway? Because the way technology is moving, even the things that we think today cannot be executed by technology, that they still require human intervention. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, no, that's no longer the case. Now, if you follow what is happening globally, you are aware that right now, driverless cars are on the roads, all right? In most of these Western countries, in America, they're already on the roads. Can you imagine? Some people cannot imagine that you can order a car. You know the way we order Uber today? And remember, Uber, first of all, faced out a whole industry that used to be called the yellow cab, where, I mean, you could hail a yellow cab anywhere on the face of the earth, and the cab stops, and you negotiate the price, and they take you where they are taking you. But Uber came and completely changed that. Now we use technology to access these kind of services. Now we are going into driverless cars, and they're already on the road. So this is not news. It's something that's already happening. Can you imagine the way you order an Uber today from your home? You will still be ordering. I don't know whether it will be Uber or somebody else is going to take that space. I don't know. But you'll be ordering it on your phone, and a car that has no driver comes and parks itself outside your gate. And some people still cannot fathom this. This cannot still enter their mind, because you're like, how is that possible? And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Just by following a bit of what is happening in that sector, it has been proven that actually driverless cars have lesser accidents than human-driven cars. Because, of course, most of the accidents that happen on our roads are actually because of human error. I mean, we all know that. But a driverless car, because it has all these sensors, it's able to read the traffic light and stop. It's able to sense when how the distance between it and the next car, and it knows the exact distance to maintain. And because it's operating on artificial intelligence, they are actually more safer than having cars with drivers. Now, it's interesting when you talk about that, because I want to take you back to the era of manual cars. And maybe some people may not really understand, what do you mean by manual cars? There's a time when the cars we're seeing on the roads used to have something called a clutch or something. I mean, I can't quite remember. And for you to change the gear, you used to step on the accelerator and then move the clutch or something. I really didn't own one, so I can't quite, but I did my driving license and I drove one, a manual car. And during that time, when I was doing my driving classes, there was all this talk in the market that the new cars that are coming are automatic cars and they don't have a clutch. And a lot of people resisted. They were like, how can I drive a car without a clutch? Because what did they know? They were programmed and they were used, and their experience was about a car with a clutch. So they could not accept this new thing that is automatic. Today, I mean, who buys a manual car? Are they even manufactured anyway? I don't think so. So, when we talk about driverless cars, it's not a far-fetched thing. It's already happening. It's in the market. Number two, please take note. The new cars that are coming, which are driverless, are not going to be consumers of petrol. They're actually electric cars. All these are things that are already being implemented. They're already being tested. They're already being in use in some of these places. But they're also coming to all of us. And believe you me, right now, I am looking forward to being able to upgrade my car from the one I drive, an automatic car, to a driverless electric car. I mean, that's where we are going. I want to be with it. And I know when these things really hit the market, all of us will be crazy about them. Why? Because we get excited by technology, because technology basically is something that comes to make our lives better. Now, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because I personally am in the space of technology, something that I really never thought was of interest to me. But the more I learn what's going on around me, the more I listen to what is going on around me, the more I get super excited about knowing where are we heading next. And why I want us to have these conversations and continue having these conversations, ladies and gentlemen, is because we have been used to consuming technology. We are consumers of technology. But rarely do we pause to ask, how can we now not only consume this technology because it's going to be part of our lives, but how can we start benefiting from this technology? Are we only meant to consume technology, pay our hard-earned money to these people who are coming up with this technology? Is there something else that you can do to benefit ourselves, even as we consume this technology and we get excited about it? What more can we do about it? Now that is our next topic, because I really want us to know that we have every opportunity to capitalize and exploit and make use of technology and line up our pockets. But the only way we can do that is when we start to get to that point of asking, how can this technology make me a millionaire? When you're hearing the techno divide is already a reality in many places, especially in the US, in California. The techno divide has become clear in black and white. There is a whole generation of people who are getting wealthier by the day, and there's a whole generation of majority of the people who are getting poorer by the day. It is called the techno chasm, and it's only expanding. Which side of the divide do you want to be in? Stay tuned to the next video, because I am now going to take you through some of the emerging technologies and how you can start to position yourself to exploit them and make your generations benefit out of them in terms of building personal wealth, community wealth, and national wealth. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye. Wow.